Yeah, that fell
Yeah,
flat.
say that again, because your recording
Your
was a little
thing
weird.
dropped out. Do it again.
Do it live?
Can you recreate that magic, Mike?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
do it
what I
live.
said is shit.
What?
Let's just move on. I can't do it again.
I'll move over, Swanson. I'm driving. Loud! Hey, Square! My dinghy's bigger than your whole boat!
Welcome back to the Caddyshack Minute, the podcast in which we celebrate and discuss and figure out and look at the movie Caddyshack 1 minute at a time. I am Tom Taylor.
I'm going to put it right on the line here. I'm Michael DeMaria.
And I'm Dan Lewis.
And today we're here to discuss minute 16 of Caddyshack, which begins with Brian Doyle Murray laying it on the line, and it ends with Dr. Beeper on the phone in the men's locker room at the club.
Not laying it, putting it on the line.
Oh, does he put it on the line?
Yes, putting it on the line.
I'm very sorry.
A rookie mistake right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen this film before, so. But this is, this starts right off with a nicely encapsulated, excellent part of them. We've talked a lot in the background, and maybe even on air, about discussing which of these minutes are like vital to us, like vital to Caddyshack. Like, you miss a gopher coming out of the ground, you're not going to be upset. But like this minute, these 2 minutes, the next couple of minutes are like prime. The next 3 or 4 minutes. In fact, the rest of this movie is awesome.
Don't tell the people when to tune out.
No, yeah.
After 3 or 4 minutes, you guys, you
Mm-hmm.
should skip a few minutes.
Well, no, the movie goes up and down, but this show here, this podcast, is always brilliant from stem to stern.
That's true, and it's got that all over the movie.
Yeah,
that's right.
But I think this is an important minute because of it's like as most literary plot lines, with death comes opportunity.
Yes, Carl Lipbaum.
With the death of Carl Lipbaum, the Caddy Scholarship is now wide open.
It's a great minute.
Within a few minutes, we go from his dad yelling at Danny's dad yelling at him about getting enough money for school, to now Carl Lipbaum choking on his own vomit.
Yet another fantastic name.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely. And the second Carl in the movie, which you don't see that a lot.
No.
Oh, that's true.
Even if it's a small character, you don't normally say, well, we already have a Carl. You give him some other name.
Right. I wonder if it's Carl with a K.
Yeah.
Carl with a C.
When we hear about it, it's the beginning of the only thing that you could conceivably call a plot in the movie. Like, this is the first actual plot point with the introduction of the Caddy Scholarship.
Yeah, and I'm sure I watched this movie at least a dozen times before I even started to notice any of that. Like, oh, yes, Danny has a goal. He wants to get a scholarship for college, and that's why some of the things in this movie are happening. And there's a caddy, whatever, scholarship that goes at. Yeah, I didn't put those dots together for years and years.
That's a sign of a strong movie when you don't notice the plot until about a dozen viewings.
Whether you're talking about Vertigo or Caddyshack.
Yeah, this happens with Cassavetes as well.
Well, if we're going to get cinematic. Thank you. If we're going to get cinematic about it, Brian Doyle Murray standing here telling this, giving this speech about, first of all, he says, bad language, smoking grass. I've never in my life imbibed marijuana, but do people even call it grass anymore?
I had a whole thing about this, Tom.
You did?
Put down, yeah.
That's incredible. Go ahead.
Well, I wrote down about how grass seems to have become it's an outmoded term for marijuana, but I've always kind of liked it, and I sort of always wished it was still here.
Well, there was a hipness to it.
Yeah,
that's what if you were cool, you called it grass.
Right, that's what the jazz musicians put in their jazz cigarettes.
Parents in those days called it pot.
Right.
And now the parents today call it grass.
Oh, is that true?
Because my mom calls it grass.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
This is, of course, ties into the later joke of Bill Murray's grass blend. I don't know, maybe there's some sort of connection there.
Could be.
I don't think the joke works today, maybe, as much because of that. Because pot's no longer referred to as grass.
And Samelia.
You think in this scene people won't know what Brian Doyle Murray's talking about?
No, I just mean the whole grass thing from later won't work as well. We'll get into that a minute later, of course. I'm just saying that, like, they're setting up the whole thing of like how we call it grass, and the tie-in with the golf thing later is going to come in.
Right.
I'm sure it's not like an intentional thing, but it made me think about grass and how I do like that as a slang term for. I don't like some of the other words for pot.
Do you think we like the term grass because it's from 70s and 80s movies?
Maybe. Yeah, hard to separate that. Hard to be objective there, Tom.
Yeah. I want to be cool like the people in the movies, so I'm going to say grass.
You know, I decided to call it grass once when I was in Jamaica. I was in Jamaica once for a wedding, and I think I was asking around for pot. I was like thinking, well, I'm in Jamaica, so I think I'll have some. And they're always playing Bob Marley at these like resorts and stuff, and of course it's very cheesy, but in Jamaica it was working for me, I was loving Buffalo Soldier and all the rest of it.
Yeah, you can only do it there. When you got to leave that shit at the airport.
Exactly.
You got to take the Bob Marley tape.
Exactly.
The Bob Marley
back
tape
to the
goes right in
post-punk.
Yeah.
When I get to the airport.
Yeah, you leave the right at the as you're going on the jetway. You drop that tape right in the trash can.
Exactly. It's exactly like the lay when you go to Hawaii.
Yeah, you leave that shit in the jetway.
But I remember I was asking around, and one guy I asked if there was any grass anywhere. No. He looked at me like I'm an idiot, and of course I was.
Well, in Jamaica, you call it the herb.
Oh yeah, I should have said that. Yeah,
No.
It's the national plant, isn't it? You're allowed to ask freely for the local herb.
I don't know if it's the national plant, Tom. We probably shouldn't say things like that.
No, that's kind of generalizing, and it's downright awful.
It is.
Yeah.
It's reductive. It's awful. It's
Absolutely.
short-sighted.
That's like Senator Mark Kirk saying that Obama is the drug dealer in chief.
just to cover my own ass. What I meant was that it's the crux of this entire story was that you equate pot with being in Jamaica. Like being in Jamaica, you were in a pot frame of mind, and
It's like going to Colorado now.
that's true. You should just do that. Go to Colorado now and listen to Bob Marley. There you go. As Carl is not Carl. I forget Brian Doyle Murray's name. What's his name in the movie?
Loomis.
Lou. Okay, it says
Loomis.
Lou's laying down the law, telling everybody what not to do, and next to him there's a line of no's on that poster. You just see like the no,
No bare feet.
no fighting.
And over his left shoulder, there's Angie sitting there huffing and puffing.
Bleeding out.
And
his
there's a bad editing. So if you look at where Angie's sitting there with the bloody nose, there's the glass slats on the door is over his right shoulder.
Yeah.
Then when it cuts to the guy saying, I already choked on his own vomit. Ange is all the way on the other side of the door.
Oh, weird.
Sitting next to the pack of kids.
Oh, like he's in both shots?
Yeah, well, there's a distance because the first shot he's right next to Brian Doyle Murray.
Yeah.
And then it cuts immediately to like the group of kids, and he's all the way over next to them on the other side of the door. It's just a bad cut.
Man.
They probably did like a shot where they said, "Oh, okay, when you say this line, we're going to have the camera on the group of kids."
Right.
Man. And then it cuts back, and he's on the other side of the door.
They barely knew what they were doing. Barely.
Yeah.
Right.
And that makes it so beautiful is that they didn't know what they were doing.
It's a gem.
Well, and he was busy looking through the wrong end of the camera and saying cut instead of action.
That's right.
Yeah.
This movie is a found object. It's this crazy little flawed gem.
Right.
He was a good kid.
He was a brown nose. You hated him.
Love that. That's Tony, right? That's Tony.
I was gonna say, is that Tony?
It sounds just like Tony, and it's almost like they just dubbed it in later.
He
delivers it in a very tasteful way.
Yeah.
Again, Tony.
The line before that with the gangly guy.
I hate the gangly guy.
It's overacted.
Oh, I thought he was like I thought he was a little bit of a Tom Taylor kind of.
You know what?
I was thinking the same thing.
I have a note. The tall guy is fucking annoying.
You're a self-hating gangly guy.
That's my note. I don't equate myself with that guy, but I knew you guys would say that. Oh yeah, the tall guy is annoying.
Yeah.
And I accept that.
I haven't seen him in jeans either.
He's a bad actor. I think you must be a better actor than that guy, Tom.
I would like to think that if I were in Caddyshack, I wouldn't go the direction that guy goes. He's like, every single line is like, I'm laughing at my own joke. It's just annoying. Like, we don't need that guy.
He recovers a little bit with the kiss his ass line a little bit later. He does a better job.
A little bit,
ass line.
But that exchange really bothers me. The kiss his ass line, and then even Brian Doyle Murray's like that would help. That exchange really bugs me. I think that's very like sitcom-y and like the characters are saying a joke to each other instead of doing something funny to the audience.
I
like,
like
so it's
that,
like conversation. I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. You don't like it either?
No.
I like it because Lou Loomis is. They just make it where it's like, okay, Lou, he gets it a little bit. He understands that you goof around a little. It's like a little light moment with Lou.
Sure.
Where you can see him as the head of this ragtag cat.
It doesn't fit in with the flow of the scene. It's like it's you know what it's like, Dan. You'll not understand this. If you're in the studio, you do a live track, and then you go back and you punch in a little guitar solo.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And the levels are too high.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't fit in the flow, and it's like all the other pieces are working, and then your little punch in is too high, too loud, and it seems separate from everything else.
Yeah, I almost expect a laugh track after he says that would help. Yeah. Like,
Caddyshack was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
No.
Oh no.
Oh, and I finally noticed the.
No.
Nobody knows what we're talking about, but that makes it funny.
That'll go on the website too.
Oh my god!
Fine.
I've never known. I only see her ever in the pool scene when she drops the baby Ruth. But that girl is in this scene here. She's standing right next to the gangly guy.
She has the disgusted look on her face.
Yeah. I never knew
that.
that she was in any other scene in the movie besides the pool, and now there she is. So I'm getting some closure and a fuller picture of the film.
I have to say, if I could just pick this back up.
Yeah.
I like that Lou is not. You know that he doesn't like. He wants people to behave, but he doesn't like a brown noser. He's a real genuine guy. He didn't like Carl Lipbaum.
Right.
He was a brown noser, and Tony keeping him honest on that point.
Yeah. So then why is he acting like he did like? Why is he saying that he was a good caddy and a good kid?
Because he's dead. He got the halo effect. Yeah. It's very common. When people die, of course, we never say bad things about them, which is why when it does happen,
the halo
pretty
effect.
funny.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, the halo effect. That's
pretty good.
Yeah,
right. I'm gonna make a note of that one.
Didn't work on the tall guy. He's making fun of him choking on his own vomit.
I'm going to use that at work tomorrow, the halo effect, and figure out a way to work that into some conversation.
Carl Lipbaum was in heaven kissing God's ass, trying to get a better spot.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Brown-nosing God.
But the minute opens with Lou being, he's had it. He's had it with the poor catting, the shitty kids. You know what? It's enough. You want to go that route, fine, but I'm going to put it on the line.
Yeah.
And then segues into, you know what? There's this opportunity here. Carl's dead.
Right.
Who wants the what is it? Scholarship.
The caddy scholarship.
Caddy scholarship. Yeah.
This is almost like a good example. This is like the good example of parenting that we didn't get at Danny's house. This is like he's letting the kids know when they're fucking up and when they're being annoying and stupid. But then in the next minute, in the next breath, he's saying, "Hey, here's an opportunity for you, dumb mooks. If you fly right and figure get your shit straight."
This is the whole plot line of the movie. This is the one serious minute of the movie, in the midst of just chaos and mayhem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The plot in this movie is the signposts are few and far between. You gotta kind of look for them.
Yeah, it's like driving through the western Texas.
Yeah, and sometimes you can see them putting the signs down as you're driving up to them. You can see them putting in a sign directing you to turn left for the plot as you're approaching the intersection.
It's over there.
It's over there. It's just over there.
Not there, stupid. It's over there. I know you want to laugh, but don't laugh at this 30 seconds because that's what really this movie's all about. Then you can laugh the rest of the time.
Exactly. Yeah. Pay attention for a minute.
Pick up I really like that. Pick up that blood. Oh, by the way, pick up that blood. Of course, classic line.
Classic.
Like, it makes no sense and is great, and it just.
If he says
Angie pick up that blood, something I never noticed, and it's the only time Angie's ever referred to as Angie.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that too this time, actually. That he said, I didn't put it together. That's the only time they call him Angie, though. But you're right.
Yeah, never would have
But
noticed.
yeah, if he had just said, "Hey, clean up that blood," we wouldn't have cared. It'd be like just a little aside. But he says, "Pick up that blood.
Because he
Pick
said,
up that blood."
pick up that blood.
That's
You can't
fantastic.
pick it up.
It's great.
It
You
doesn't-
can wipe
yeah.
it up, but you can't pick it up.
Yeah. Is he gonna be mad at him if he does wipe it up or like clean it up?
No, you got to pick it up.
He has to pick it up. That's what he told
Right.
him to do.
I mean, I've heard of where sometimes blood lacks clotting agents.
Yeah.
And maybe this is the other end of the spectrum.
Platelets.
Pick up that blood.
Do we know that that's Angie's own blood? Is he the only one who's bleeding? I think he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's his. I think that's the implication.
Danny seems fine.
And he charges Angie with doing it. He's like, look, it's your blood. You pick it up. You made this mess.
Yeah.
That's my brother.
By the way, yet again, Danny
You owe me
looks
for
like
one
he's
gumball
standing in
machine.
front of a backdrop or something.
Yeah.
There are
Danny-
lots of shots of Danny where it looks like he's not in the movie.
It could be the
whenever
very just the two-dimensional nature of the actor.
they just keep propping him up in front of backdrops or something.
Yeah, Michael O'Keefe.
Here, put Michael O'Keefe over here. We'll take a picture of him. Smile.
Actually, he did the entire movie from his villa just outside of Marseille.
He was preparing for his run as the man from La Mancha.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. He was doing right. He started with Shakespeare in the Park and moved on from there, and
Yeah. Then
Caddyshack
Caddyshack in
in
the
between
bathroom.
to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Or the Count of Monte Cristo. The world is mine.
Oh wait, that is the Man of La Mancha. I only remember that from like high school. Like I wasn't even in Man of La Mancha, but I remember people practicing it, rehearsing it. So I know that one line, those 4 notes or whatever, 3 notes.
What was the line again?
Dulcinea. It's like it's like the girl's name or something, isn't it? Oh, but then I was in high school. I was a special effect. I was in
You were a tree.
not Cat on the Hot Tin Roof. What's the other one? Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on the
I was in
Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh yeah.
There's some like dream sequence where Tevye, is that his name? Tevye has a dream about his mother-in-law like yelling at him. And I guess it's usually like a weird ghosty effect or something, but I had one of the Price twins, either Dawn or Kim, I forget which one, on my shoulders with a big long dress that she was wearing the dress, but then it was long enough to come down over me to my feet. And I had her on my shoulders. So it was like a big, tall, crazy person as the ghost.
So you were chosen for the part because you're tall.
Exactly.
6'6".
Get us that Wookiee. Get us the gangly kid from Caddyshack.
Go knock on the door in the AV room and get that one tall gangly bastard.
He's
to
not
come
doing
down
anything there. He's
come
playing
down to the-
Robotron on the Apple IIe. Just go get him.
You must be the ghost bottom. Come in.
Somebody asked for a ghost bottom.
That sounds
I was in
gross.
the middle of something.
A ghost
There we go
bottom.
again with the Chicago Sirens. You know, you can never fails.
That's
It's
me.
it's a little stereotypical. It's a little on the nose. It's like
A little
what are
bit.
they, Tommy
Yeah, but
guns
it's
in the
not.
background or something next.
I
Thanks.
live in Oakland, so between us, I don't know if this was mentioned before, but we have between us are in a couple of the murder capitals of the entire country
Yeah.
in terms of per capita.
That's why this show's killing.
Oh,
You have to get literal though.
I'm sorry.
yeah, Tom.
because-
I mean, these are real people's lives and lack
There's
thereof.
14 people shot this past weekend.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard
Check out
Tom's
that blood.
joking about it.
Pick up that blood.
Pick up that blood.
It's terrible. I'll feel bad when it's me. I will.
It's only a matter of time before the ghost bottom gets it.
So it's written on the wall. The ghost bottom's gonna get it.
Are you a
One of these
power
days.
ghost bottom? Or,
Stop.
Fruma Sarah, that was her name. Fruma Sarah was the mother-in-law ghost lady that I was the
Sarah?
bottom of. Yeah, Fruma Sarah.
if I were a rich man,
Yeah, go, keep going.
that's all I know.
Yeah,
Sunrise, sunset. Is
yeah.
that
If I loved you, no, I'm mixing. Wait, no, I'm mixing up 2 different shows.
Are we
Go
doing
ahead, Tom. We'll wait.
Do I have to pay for all these? Do I have to get rights to do all these? If I what? It's like that whole thing. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. I did a lot of music-y stuff in high school, and I'm only proud of some of it.
Music-y. What type of music-y
You in
stuff did
South
you do?
Pacific?
I did not do South Pacific, but no, I was in like all these music, like the first half of high school. I was in like concert choir and like swing. I was in swing choir.
The hell is
And I'm
that?
not, we've already established that I'm a tall, gangly dude.
Yeah, you got all the tallest. You got all the tallest parts.
I'm not like a Tommy Toon though. I'm not like a tall and also graceful guy. I'm not like a guy who should be up there in a white suit and a top hat and a cane doing a dance. But that's exactly what I was doing with some of my
Pretty
classmates.
good money for that.
Yeah, I didn't get a dime. I only got humiliation. Well, humiliation is strong, but it was a blast. Then I got cool and started hanging out in the AV room.
That is cool.
Yeah,
You found your niche.
playing Robotron on the Apple IIe
Yeah.
Right.
for all hours. Yeah.
So so it was you and the quarterback of the football team and the guy who was in the rock band, all in the AV room there.
That was basically it, yeah. And the 2.5 punk rock kids.
It was like the Breakfast Club.
It was. Yeah. Uh-huh. Demented and sad,
Right.
but social.
That's great. What I don't like about the Breakfast Club, someone was pointing out to me that he really hates the movie The Breakfast Club, my friend. And I like it, but my friend really hates it. And he said the reason he hates it is that in the end, they make the nerdy kid write the letter anyway. It's like, you know what I mean?
Hey, Brainiac, you can spell.
He still has to do it. Like, he's the one who gets that job.
Yeah.
Even after they bonded,
Yeah.
he still has to do it.
Yeah. I see you as a person, but just write this for me. Do my homework for me.
Someone
Yeah.
should make the Breakfast Club, like maybe I'll do it as a sketch or something where it's the next day and everybody, or what was that, Saturday? So the following Monday, they all show up at school and only the nerdy kid thinks, oh, this is going to be great. Except for everybody else goes back to normal. And just beats the shit out of him.
It ends with him in the locker, like stuffed in his own locker yet again.
Brian, right? And he walks over to Molly Ringwald. He goes, hey, how's it going? And she goes, ew, get away from me.
Ew. As if she maces him right in the middle of the hallway.
He's halfway through his sentence.
We shared so many. And then Ali Sheedy. Oh, they kill Ali Sheedy in that movie. She's so cool and like weird and awesome.
They ruin
and then
her.
they like, oh no, we have to make her acceptable and put her in a dress and put some eyeliner on her or something and put her hair back, and now she's acceptable. Now she's beautiful.
So I don't know if I can back up liking that movie in light of what my friend said and what you just said just now. Makes me feel like maybe my friend's got a point.
I think instead of watching I'm fine with Breakfast Club, but you should just watch 16 Candles and War Games instead, and then you get like
You get the whole. I really like 16 Candles.
Sure, it's got Paul Dooley in it.
Yeah.
Crying out loud. Refund. That's not wrong.
Dong.
Still.
Dong.
I love 16.
Where's my automobile? Automobile?
That guy's great.
Tanaka. His last name is like
Is his last name
Watanabe.
Watanabe?
Watanabe.
Not wonton. Don't say that.
Watanabe.
Oh, Mike.
Mike.
Watanabe.
Anything you want to say about
Watanabe.
Jamaica?
He's great though. He plays, a Chinese guy in one movie, a Japanese guy in another movie, and then he might be Korean in another movie.
How does he do it?
I don't know how he does it.
You know what it is? It's
He's
like
a
it's like
chameleon.
Range.
it's like that. It's like at the end of the baseball season when the team is out of contention, and they always have that one player that plays every position
Right.
each inning, plays all
Yeah.
9 positions.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He's got to play every ratio.
He plays all 9 Asians.
Yes. Is there 9? We have to. He probably does some.
Double check that.
After the word baseball, I just heard static.
Yeah.
My mind just goes to like a flat line kind of static kind of beat.
Right. With the
plays
feather going up as he. I love that sleeping where you're blowing up a feather.
Where'd the feather come from? I'm amazed like Sharper Image or someplace or like, one of those stupid catalogs doesn't sell like a sleep feather that you place strategically over your mouth when you go to bed so you can have it just rising and falling as you sleep.
It's an old school like sleep test they did from like Poor Richard's Almanac. Like now they do sleep studies, very technological, but back then it was like if you woke up and the feather wasn't there, you're not sleeping right.
It's more like
Probably,
Daffy
you probably
Duck's
had to go
almanac.
in those days. You had to, if you went to the sleep clinic, you just went to somebody's house. They put a feather on your face.
How am I doing, Doc?
But you know what? You're okay. The feather went up and down all night.
Right. Put your hand in a bowl of warm water. Oh, your feather went up and down. You peed yourself. You're all right.
Yourself, you're okay.
Clean bill of health.
Now wear this scarlet letter and get out of here. Put the scarlet letter on. Put these leeches on your arms.
Yeah. You got to be sinning about something, just not the feather.
All right, so back to the minute.
The what? 16 candles minute. Oh, what?
Oh yeah, that's right. The Breakfast Club, the Caddyshack minute continues.
Yes.
I like Tony D'Annunzio. The more because we're learning things about the movie, little things like he refers to Angie. If you'd asked me before, how does Danny get a shot at the scholarship? I wouldn't have said, "Oh, a guy died," and then it gave him a chance. Like I would have said, "Oh, I don't know. It's there."
Right.
Now I'm seeing things a little more granularly, of course.
Yeah.
And the more I look at it, the more I hate Danny Noonan.
Oh, really?
I never loved him, but now I just don't like the guy at all. And I think Tony D'Annunzio is, at this point for me, a more of a stand-up guy.
Well, you know what you get? This is what you get, because you get a vision of that's a real tight-knit group of guys, and Danny's the outsider. He's the one that doesn't want to be part of it.
Is that what that's like? What you're like? What changed for you guys about Danny Noonan that you now don't like him?
He's kind of an asshole. But
I think it's more like I knew not to like him before, because I knew I didn't like him that much, but I didn't care. But then I think like the fact that he's basically the protagonist of the movie probably won him enough favor on its own for me, where I was just kind of rooting for him.
Yeah.
But now that I look at it, I'm just like, why am I rooting for this guy again?
Yeah.
Well, we've seen. I mean, I don't want to go. I got to wait a little while before I get on like Team D'Annunzio or something, because I like him so far. So I mean, he challenges the guy to a fight over a Coke. I'm not into that, but he was cool with the what's their name? The Having Champs.
Yeah, he was cool with the Having Camps.
Yeah, he's got some humanity to him, some personality.
If you look back at this scene, when the gangly guy cracks the joke, it cuts over there and everybody's laughing like they're all part of the team. They're all equal, and D'Annunzio's laughing.
Yeah,
it's like they're all just a bunch. They're all losers, and they're all in it together. And then there's Danny sitting over there.
Well, he's got his eye on the prize. He's like, hey, wait a minute, scholarship. Oh, this might be my ticket.
It's only because he doesn't want to go to St. Copius, though.
Yeah, that's true.
and
you fell in that cookie
what?
jar.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Yes, I agree that resorting to physical violence is going too far. And, Tony D'Annunzio is not a perfect guy. But Danny is an incredible jerk for no reason. Right before that, he's such a jerk. He's like, what, you jerk? And
That's
doing
true.
the whole thing. You don't get a no Coke. He brings his Italian heritage into it for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
but as we go, I'm thinking ahead. As we go, I'm sure that D'Annunzio is not always.
I agree.
You know what this is like, Tom?
An angel.
It's like when Attack of the Clones came out. We said this movie's crap.
Yeah.
And Jar Jar. I'm like, this is how can you watch this? And you defended it. And you defended it. And you defended it for years. You finally said, okay, it's crap. That's what will happen.
It was part of a mass psychosis. You can ask many Star Wars fans around that time. They will all admit that they were denied. They were in denial. They tried to convince themselves of something that wasn't true. I'm not proud of it, but I also think that you, as a friend, should try to be a little more understanding.
I was with you when I saw that movie for the first time.
You were there
in the theater, and you had already seen it 4 times, and I saw you get sexually excited. Ow! You started screaming out.
Oh, God.
It's ridiculous.
Did you dress up as Princess Leia or anything?
I did not dress up as Princess Leia.
Or any other characters?
No. I've actually never done that.
Okay.
I'm the cool Star Wars fan. I don't dress up.
You're the cool Star Wars guy or fan that dresses up like Spock.
Right, to go to Star Wars. Just to mess with
be
people.
ironic.
Yeah.
See?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I think Tom, you're right to preach deliberation and patience in this regard.
Yeah, no, I for the record, I agree with everything you're saying. Mm-hmm. Danny Noonan is not a totally stand-up guy. He's not. I don't have a ton of reason to root for him yet.
He's not the worst. Let's put it that way.
I would like for anybody in that house that he lives in to be able to get out of that house. How about that?
I get that.
Can I read you my little missive I wrote about this? Just a short.
Please do.
Well, because this was me making notes, and then I realized, like, instead of just trying to make it notes, I'll just read it.
It's easy
Okay.
to grin when your ship comes
Yeah.
in.
Okay,
Go like
Poopy.
that.
It goes. When we hear about the brown nosing of Carl Lipbaum and the availability of the Caddy scholarship due to Lipbaum's untimely passing, and when Danny asks about what kind of grades are needed, we're introduced to the idea that apart from being a weasel, a coward, and a jerk who is disrespectful to his parents, Danny is also a potential brown noser who is either not smart enough or not intelligent enough to do well in school.
You know, that's an excellent point. They just made the point that
And he's already
Lou
up in his
hated
ass.
Carl Lipbaum for being a brown noser, and Danny immediately goes and brown noses.
Yeah,
He's
he
right up in
immediately
his
sees
ass.
that opening where it's like, oh, I'm going to start brown nosing, which we, of course, see
Yeah.
later. Not to ruin it for later, but he does some major Smales brown nosing.
Totally.
And he's like, oh, here's an opening for me. And then he goes in there and goes, can people with shitty grades who are dumb get the scholarship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's a total loser.
Yeah. And then Lou's answer is like, well, if you're a good caddy, they might be kind of lenient about like what kind of scholarship is
Is he a
that?
good caddy? I don't know. Yeah, right. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like your caddy scholarship. It's like the MacArthur Genius Grant for caddies.
It's probably a scholarship to St. Copius. You know, the joke's on him.
Yeah,
It's like how
right.
you become a MacArthur fellow. All you got to do, what have I got to do to get this fellowship? Just be a fucking good caddy.
Right. Yeah. Maybe recommend the pitching wedge.
Yeah.
Well played.
It didn't work out for me that time, but I'm not going to blame you. You were giving me advice. You're a good caddy.
Look the other way when the guy's replacing his lie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's a good point. Though it's a pretty shitty, and that's the message. You know, I got shitty grades, but I still want this scholarship.
Yeah, and I'm going to take advantage of this over the not even cold yet body yet of Carl Lipbaum.
Yeah.
I mean, won't somebody think of Lipbaum in this situation?
Nope.
He probably was a good student, just had a little anxiety problems.
Yeah.
Of course.
I wonder if that's true at all that he choked on his own vomit during a test.
So I'm glad everybody had a good laugh about it.
Yeah, really. Poor Carl.
Oh,
Maybe there'll be a prequel someday. But
making
Carl
friends
Lipbaum
fast
is-
around here, John. What movie's that from?
Say again?
Making friends fast around here, John. Thanks a lot, Winger. Thanks a lot. What movie?
Oh, that sounds really familiar.
that is
What's
weird.
the name?
It's another Ramis. It's Harold Ramis that says the line.
Oh, it's Stripes.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched Ghostbusters the other night for the first time in a long, long time with my
The
son.
original. Yeah.
I know I read your thing on.
Oh yeah, I needed advice on how to. He's 9 years old. I needed advice on how to handle when one moment in the movie that I didn't know how to handle if a question was raised.
And you stressed about it before you watched it.
Yeah, I was sweating the entire time. Dan Aykroyd, he's like having that dream sequence, and his pants get undone, and his eyes cross, and he rolls out of bed.
You got to do what your dad did during the boobs shot in Airplane and just laugh
Yep.
through it and
I
show
did.
the kid that it's okay.
Exactly what I did.
Laughed and he laughed.
And then
Or
I
you do-
paused
or
the
you
movie
do-
and I said, "Son, do you see that? He was going to get filleted by a ghost." And he said, "What's filleted?"
Filleted.
Like that's when a woman or a man takes the other's penis into his mouth and
All right, Tom,
You know
just
what, Tom?
take it easy, Tom.
Our kids may want to listen to these one day.
I'm sure they don't.
And they find it. It's right. You probably should. Or you keep a dictionary next to the bed and you throw it across the room right at that time, and it hits the wall, and the kid looks over there, and the scene goes on without it.
Yeah.
Without ever.
No, the
noticing.
only thing he actually did ask about, he said, "Oh, why did his eyes cross?" I'm like, "Nah, he's having a crazy dream. Go to your room.
Yeah. Here's a warm cookie. Go upstairs.
Don't think about it. You like cookies, right?"
Yeah. There's some
Think
warm
about that.
chocolate chip cookies. Get some milk. Don't ask me any more questions. Here's a 5.
I'm trying to watch a movie.
Yeah. Just see.
Jabbering.
Put the questions, kid. I'm off the
Yeah, but there's
clock.
not that a lot. Most of it will go right over a kid's head. Like there's talk about, hey, we'll get this guy laid and stuff, and yeah, but like that's the one part. Dan Aykroyd's tidy whitey's getting exposed. That I'm like,
Dan Aykroyd.
just don't ask any questions, will you? Please, just go with it. Embrace the mystery.
Just go over there, kid.
And he did.
Just go over there.
It's over there.
Just
I
over
left
there.
a sack of cookies over there. Go get one.
Yeah, you're gonna be all right.
If there's a movie with some questionable parts, you put a bag of cookies on the other side of the room. 2 seconds before the part comes up, you say, "Hey, kid, go get some cookies over there and stuff your face with them." He goes over there, eats the
Yeah.
cookies. The bad part comes and goes.
Yeah.
He comes back with cookies.
Yeah.
He's happy. You've
Yeah.
smoothed over.
Yeah.
That's all.
And for the rest of his life, he's eroticized by chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah,
don't-
it's
no.
like exactly. He keeps some emergency cookies in the corner. And the kid has to break the glass to get to them. In the new Ghostbusters, there wasn't one ghost cunnilingus joke, which I felt a little offended by.
That is weird. That's they missed the ball.
Yeah.
I didn't see the new Ghostbusters,
No,
but
they never
maybe by
will.
the time this airs, I will have.
Yeah.
I don't expect to hate it, and I don't expect to love it.
I think
Actually, you know what? I brought up Ghostbusters in the first place to say that it's fine, but I remember liking it more than I did this time. Is that wrong of me to admit?
it's got its moments.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it as a kid, and I was like 13 when it came out.
No,
I think it was
don't
kind of
remember loving
genuinely
it.
scary. Did you get that in this?
Parts of it were.
No, I don't remember loving it.
Oh, really?
No, I liked.
I mean,
liked,
it's got Harold, it's got Rick Moranis and stuff.
I like Rick Moranis.
I like
You
Lewis.
guys have some.
Yes,
All right, we got to end this thing because everyone keeps disappearing.
yeah, let's get out
Okay.
while they get
Next
good.
minute.
All right, Zool is attacking us. So we got to go. Everybody, thank you for listening to the Caddyshack Minute.
Thanks.
We'll talk to you later. Come back next week for minute, 17.
17.
Thank you all so much. Pick up that blood.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.